My favorite day of the year has arrived. No, it's not my birthday. The 2022 Healthy Mama Meal Planner is officially available for purchase. Since the Healthy Mama Meal Planner First Edition launched in 2018, it has been helping women simplify and streamline their weekday meals through the simple routine of planning ahead. The Healthy Mama Meal Planner takes it one step further and guides you step by step to creating a meal plan that works for your unique family, schedule, and planning style, taking the stress out of meal planning once and for all and gives you all the tools to do it. The Healthy Mama Meal Planner is the ultimate tool for simplifying healthy living by planning ahead to create realistic, nourishing meals for your family. It's 150 pages of planning bliss for those of you who are as planner obsessed as I am, or 150 pages of ease when you're looking to simplify and streamline your family's meals. It's created by me, Kristin Dovbniak. I'm a former personal chef, a culinary nutritionist, and a busy mama of two, so I get busy weekdays. The Healthy Mama Meal Planner is available in print or print-at-home editions. It features helpful lists to streamline the meal planning process for easier grocery shopping, better budgeting, and simpler, healthier family meals, as well as a full year of monthly and weekly planning pages. You also get a how-to guide for how to simplify meal planning for your unique family. So head to healthymamakris.com/meal planner to get your copy today. Hey friends, welcome back to the Healthy Balanced Mama podcast. Kris here, your host, and today is an extra special episode of the podcast. I don't know whether to call this a Healthy Mama Hacks episode. It will also air on the Healthy Mama Hacks channel, as well as the main Healthy Balanced Mama podcast. So I guess it's sort of a Healthy Mama Hacks episode, though I can pretty much guarantee this is, and you probably already know this because you've clicked play, it's probably not going to be like 20-ish minutes. It'll probably be a little bit longer. We'll see how long it actually is. I have 45 minutes until I need to go pick my daughter up from preschool, so we're going to go ahead and see if I get this done in that time or if this is a two-parter for me, because I have a long list to share with all of you. Living a healthy, balanced life is no small feat, especially when you're a mom. With meals to cook, laundry to load, work to do, and humans to raise, it can be easy to feel like we're in an on-again, off-again relationship with healthy living. But it doesn't have to feel this way. I believe living a healthy life has become way too complicated. What we need isn't a new plan or program telling us what to eat or how to live. We need simple, uncomplicated routines and information that's going to help us live our best, most beautiful life without rules and restrictions. Join me, Kristin Dovbniak, holistic health coach, certified intuitive eating counselor, and mama of two, for weekly conversations on what it means to live a healthy, balanced life, uncomplicate eating, and simplify in every area of mom life. This idea actually came to me sort of on a whim because I noticed that a couple of the podcasts that I were following actually did their own podcast gift guide. And I absolutely love reading gift guides. I have a few people who are on I'm on their email list, and I receive their gift guides every year, and I absolutely love them, and I get tons of gift ideas from them. And so for the past several years, I've done the same thing myself over on my blog. I've either done one big blog post or a series of blog posts with different gift guides. And I am also a gift giver. I love giving gifts. I love shopping for gifts. I love creating gifts. It is one of my favorite things about holidays, about birthdays. I really love doing it up when it comes to gifts. Gifts are definitely one of my love languages. So I am just really excited to go ahead and give this to you in podcast form if you are someone who likes to listen to, who likes to listen rather than read. I will put a link to the blog post that goes along with this down in the show notes, so you can get links to everything that I share with all of you as well. So hopefully you can get some inspiration from this for some of the people in your life who might be harder to get gifts for, or you just want to get them something different or more unique. I can't say that everything I'm going to share with you is something like particularly unique, but I think they are gift ideas that are good. Lots of them are gift ideas that I will be giving myself. So if you are a close close family member, I would ask you to just go ahead and just like turn this off for now. Because, I'm not telling you what I'm getting for each specific family member, but maybe just like wait until after the holiday season and save this for birthdays. Okay. All right. Thanks. And just as a quick aside, if you do click on the links that are associated with this episode, there is a whole mix of some smaller businesses, some Etsy shops, some, I've got some from like Crate and Barrel. And then, of course, I have some Target and Amazon. I like to have a mix because I do like to support small businesses. But I know for many of us, Amazon, Target are the most convenient route as well. And the Amazon links are affiliate links. So I do get a small, and I mean small, like we're talking pennies, commission from your purchase. No extra cost to you, but I did just want to let you guys know that I do occasionally use Amazon affiliate links because it's fun to make a couple of pennies off of the things that I love, right? So today is going to be a mix of different gift guides for different people in your life. So I did a poll on Instagram, as I love to do, to see who you needed gift guides for the most. And the number one person in your life that you wanted a gift guide for is your husband. Anyone else surprised? I'm not. My husband is so hard to buy for. So what I've done the last couple of years is ask him what he thinks some good gift ideas are or things that he's enjoyed as gifts in the past. And so that's what I'm going off of for the husband guide, my husband as like the average husband. And the second one was your sister or your bestie. I kind of put those in the same category. My sister is my friend as well as my sister. And I feel like the things I get from my sister and my bestie are kind of similar as well. And then I also have categories for things for your mom, things for the foodie or aspiring chef. This could be you to put on your wish list if you have a hard time finding things that you might enjoy or somebody else in your life. These are also great hostess gifts, of course, depending on the price range because they are. There's a range. The cocktail lover, the runner, because I am a runner and I know you guys have enjoyed some of my running podcast episodes, and then a small list for the kiddos because I know that kids, they're oh my gosh, the things that they love change so frequently. But the ideas I have, I think, are pretty good for various ages as well. So we're gonna dig into each one of those categories. These are things that I love, that I use, and or things that I have gifted, am gifting. I promise you that everything on the list is either something that I personally use, give, have given, will give. We're not editing this episode. We are literally just flowing through it. Or something that's come highly recommended, but those are far and few between. So let's dig in to the number one category that you guys told me you want help with, and that is gifts for your husband. Okay, so let's dig in. Husbands, I think, are hard to buy for because, I don't know, my husband's definitely the kind of guy when he wants something, if it's a big thing, he will wait and wait and wait and research and research and research. And when if it's something like technology, like a phone or a tablet, oftentimes the one that he decides on will be obsolete by the time he actually goes to buying it. But other little things that he wants, he just kind of buys himself. He's a cyclist, so if he needs new cycling socks or a cycling kit or something like that, he just buys it for himself. So sometimes we'll buy him fun things for like his birthday or Father's Day. We bought him a fun cycling jersey. But for the most part, he just kind of buys himself the things that he wants and the things that he needs. So it's kind of hard to find things that he'll get excited about. And he's also just kind of like what I consider like your average dude. He doesn't get like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. I'm trying not to like scream at the top of my lungs. He's like, cool, this is awesome, thanks. And so even just getting a cool, this is awesome, thanks is kind of what I look for when I'm shopping for my husband. So a couple of the ideas that he and I came up with together. Actually, the first one didn't even come from him initially. It came from, or I guess it did come from him initially, but it came from my youngest daughter, Ren. She's 4. And I said, what do you want to get Daddy for Christmas? And she says, he needs new sunglasses. And I was like, you know what? He does need new sunglasses because Daddy likes to drop his sunglasses in the ocean as a side hobby. He's a sailor, for those of you who don't know that. But his favorite sunglasses, and have been for several years, just in terms of like sunglasses that are stylish, but you don't really care too much if you drop in the ocean, are by the company Shady Rays. So their sunglasses usually are about $48. They oftentimes have deals where you like buy one, get one 50% off. We've never just bought him one pair at a time. And they will also replace them for free if they break. I don't know if you lose them, but they've been really good at replacing them for him. So they're just a great company. They're good quality for only being like $48. My husband has some really nice expensive sunglasses because he is out in the sun and he does need that sun protection. But for kind of everyday sunglasses, I know it's not necessarily sunglass season, but if you do live, or at least not here in the Northeast, but if you have a husband who's interested in water sports or boating, sailing, or you guys live somewhere where it's warm right now, it's a great gift. And, you know, even if he's just the guy who likes to wear sunglasses on a Saturday, even in the middle of January, these are great sunglasses. And buy him a couple pairs because they're inexpensive enough that you can, right? So the next thing that I thought of, that is something that my husband actually goes back and forth on because he is a sailor. He does like to take his ring off when he's sailing, but having a solution for him to have a really nice looking ring that he feels safe wearing. So he takes off his titanium band when he's sailing, but having a nice Enso ring. So Enso is my favorite company for silicone rings. You'll probably see me wearing my silicone Enso ring when I'm cooking in the kitchen because it is silicone. I will like get all up in there with meatballs and stuff and you can wash it off really well. Whereas my ring that has like pave diamonds on it, I do not want to get in meatballs because that's just gross and bacteria and all that jazz. And as much as you wash it, I still feel like there would be like little bits in there. So having the silicone ring makes me feel more safe. And then if it did get caught on something, it would snap instead of, you know, like pulling his finger off. And they come in some really cool colors too. They have like the metallics and you know, these are male styles too. So for guys who like something a little bit more manly, mine is like a light pink thin band, but they have thicker bands. They have ones that have like the lines on the side. I love jewelry, but I'm not a fashion person. So they look nice. Find one that your husband would like. If he's sporty, it's a good option too, if he doesn't want to be wearing his ring all the time. And they're really lightweight. You don't even feel them on your finger. Sometimes I forget I'm wearing it. I'm like, oh my gosh, where's my ring? Oh, right. It's there. So those are really great. Another thing for your husband that it seems like one of those funny little things, like, really? You're going to get your husband socks? But there is something about socks so nice. You feel a little guilty buying them for yourself, but you know they would be amazing. Get those for your husband. So the ones that I am getting for him, so I know my husband's not listening to this, but if you're listening, honey, turn it off, are Bombas. Okay, Bombas are amazing. And they come in wool. And so they are like sweat wicking, but also super merino wool. So they're like sweat wicking, but super, super warm. And we only wear merino wool socks when we are hiking. They're amazing for hiking, but they're mostly amazing for just like hanging out at home or for the winter time. We're in the Northeast, so it gets cold. So keeping your toesies warm when you're outside playing with the kids or you're skiing, or I don't ski. There's probably special ski socks. That was probably not a good advertisement. But overall, they're really great, and they come in fun colors and prints and things like that as well. Okay, for the coffee-loving dude in your life, the Ember mug. Okay, if your husband is anything like mine and his coffee travels with him throughout the morning. Now, we don't own a microwave anymore. The last apartment we were in, we had a microwave, and we used it basically to reheat coffee and sometimes lunches, things like that. But we don't cook in the microwave or anything like that. So when we moved into this place, it doesn't have an apartment because we're in a temporary place. And we're like, we don't know how temporary it is, but we certainly don't need a microwave. We probably won't even get a microwave. Honestly, I'd rather have a toaster oven when we move into our home. So he just drinks like lukewarm coffee, and you know what? He's fine with it, but I know he likes hot coffee. So the Ember mug actually keeps your coffee hot. Oh my gosh, it is so cool. And I know this is something that he would not buy for himself because it is $100 coffee mug, but I know that he would find it super cool and super amazing. So this is on my list for him, and I'm sure there are many dudes in your life who would also love it as well. Another gift that I give to my husband pretty much every year is a gift for him, but also a gift for us as a couple, especially in the wintertime when it gets cold and we don't like to go out as much. We love playing games together. We love playing games together as a family, but we love like at-home date nights where we cook up something yummy or we get some takeout and we grab a beer, a glass of wine, we sit down, we play a game. So last year I got him the game Lost Cities, which is a really fun 2-person game. It's one of those games where you don't compete against each other. You kind of compete against yourself. So that's fun. There's not a lot of like fighting in that. Not fighting, but like competition in that. And then Monopoly Deal is another really great game. But we love like literally any 2-player games. So, Battleship is a fun one. Anything you can play with 2 players is a really fun idea too. And if you want to get more creative too, you could even set it up and have it be like, okay, this is a game night pack. And so you have like some popcorn and maybe like your favorite beer or something like that, and kind of put it together as like a little package. If you're not sure what to get for him, like, here, this is like a fun date night that we can do together. I do recommend getting him something that's just for him too, but it would be fun kind of as a couple gift, or a fun couple gift for the couple in your life. And the other thing that I just added to this, oh my gosh, as an aside, can you guys hear that? I can hear it in my headphones, so you might be able to hear it. It is raining like crazy here. I didn't see any hurricanes in the forecast, but I'm a little nervous. It's just me and the kids tonight, so we might have a candle party tonight. Okay, so back on topic. So this I added. I have not actually seen this, but I literally bought this item the minute I saw it available. You guys most of you are mamas. You're healthy mamas. You're balanced mamas. You've probably heard of Liz Moody and or the Healthier Together podcast. If you haven't, put it on your list. I love Liz. I love everything she does. I love her podcast. And she has a cookbook also called Healthier Together. And the whole premise is on getting healthier together. And so, her cookbook is really, I don't actually own her cookbook, but I should, but the premise is, cooking with someone else. And so her podcast is about, really becoming healthier and wellness as a whole. But she just came out with a deck of cards called the Healthier Together deck. And so you can use it with your loved ones or with friends or with strangers, and it's getting to know people. And I think it would be something really cool for you and your spouse. I actually got it for my husband not really for him, but for us. So this is like an us gift for a date night type thing. So there's questions on everything from like relationships to just, your life goals and dreams. And like it looks very, very cool. So I will put the link to that down below. She has no idea who I am. So this is certainly not sponsored or anything. I'm just a fan and I bought it immediately. I think it's like $25. So it's really affordable too. So that was something I thought was really cool. And I'm really excited to get it in the mail. Another one of the gifts that Nick was like, oh yeah, every guy likes this, is a really good multi-tool. So guys like their tools, and my husband, being someone who is in the marine industry, uses things like scissors and knives and things like that on a regular basis. So he likes the Leatherman brand, and he likes like a really good one, like $150 one. So, if your husband just has like a little pocket knife and you think that he would really enjoy something a little bit more techy that has more features to it, that's got the screwdriver and the scissors and the different size knives and a million other little things that I have no idea what they do. I just have a pocket knife that I use when I am hiking and camping, but he likes the technical one. I will link down below the one that he likes specifically, but he's like, oh yeah, every guy would like a good multi-tool. Okay, cool. That's on the list. The next thing that I know that is something that might be a little bit more than your husband's willing to buy for himself, depending on who he is, but is just something that I know that I really appreciate and I really love, and I know my husband really appreciates and really loves, is a really nice pair of headphones, like a noise-canceling pair of wireless headphones. So my husband has the Samsungs and I have AirPods. I've got the iPhone. He's got a Google phone. So it just kind of worked out that way. But whether it's the Samsung or the Sony or the Bose or the AirPods, those are a really great gift, because it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I wanted these, but they're like, $150, $200. So it seems kind of like a lot to just buy on a Tuesday on a pair of headphones, right? But they're really great. They are a game changer. I use them for meetings. I use them for listening to podcasts, for listening to music, for talking to all of my friends and family on Voxer. So they're really, really great because they have microphones in them too. So I think that would be a really great gift. For the guy in your life who likes some craft cocktails, I have a whole cocktail lover because we love making craft cocktails. I have a whole section coming up, but this one caught my eye, and don't tell my husband he's getting this too. I'm basically just telling you guys what I'm getting my husband for Christmas. I hope you appreciate it. So this one just came out, and this is the Mr. Black times Whistle Pig Cold Brew Coffee Liqueur. So it is a 100% Arabica coffee liqueur that has been aged in Whistle Pig 10-year straight rye whiskey barrels. If you've ever had Whistle Pig whiskey in the first place, it's delicious. And then combine it with coffee liqueur aged in whiskey barrels, you guys. I'm really excited to try this. Many of you know that I am a longtime coffee lover. I gave up coffee due to my anxiety and hormones, and it's made a massive difference in my life, but I still love the flavor, the smell, everything about coffee. So I have a little bit of coffee here and there, and this is definitely one of the ways that I would bring coffee into my life. And my husband, being someone who would love a coffee IV, he loves coffee as well. He's going to love this. So I'm very excited about this. And then last but not least, when it comes to our husbands, I think experiences are like the best gift that you can give. It's always more fun when it's something you can do together too. So whether it's an experience of something he can go and do himself, something like a massage that he might feel awkward buying for himself is a great gift. Any of you who are local, one of my good friends is a massage therapist. So just shoot me a message. I will send you to her. You will not be sorry. Rock climbing is a really fun thing to do together as a couple. That's something that my sister-in-law actually gave us rock climbing passes a few years ago, and that's one of my favorite Christmas gifts we've gotten. A concert. Not saying that we're going on a double date with my sister and best friend and him for Christmas, but we are. And that's a really great gift, especially now that things are opening up. So experiences are a great gift to give to your husband, especially if you're like, I don't know what to give him. Do something fun together, right? So those are the main things that I have for husbands. I hope you guys found some ideas, some inspiration. Let's move on to your sister and or your bestie. Okay, this first thing I want to mention is something, it's one of those things I saw on social media over and over again. I heard people advertise on podcasts over and over again. Not sponsored, but, hit me up if you want me to sponsor you. I love having my nails done. I like having my nails done. I like going and getting my nails done. I just feel more put together when my nails are done. I keep them short because I'm a chef. I wasn't actually able to wear nail polish for years when I was a personal chef and when I worked in restaurants. And so it's really fun to have my nails painted now. But let's be real, it gets expensive. And then with my husband gone a lot for his job, I can't always stay consistent with it. So having an at-home option that actually stays put was huge. And so this year I discovered Olive and June, and I'm not great at painting my nails, and I was definitely not convinced that I would be able to paint them. But they have this special little brush called the Poppy that helps you to kind of stabilize your hand and actually paint your nails so it doesn't look like a 5-year-old did them. And you guys, my nails used to look like a 5-year-old did them when I did them. Every time, which is why I get them done professionally. But now I only get them done professionally on a special occasion because I did buy the whole Olive and June kit, and I've been using that for months, and I love it. And they have the whole kit as a gift. It's a great gift, and may or may not be what I'm getting for good friends / siblings. Not saying who, but if you're listening now, I already warned you. So if you ruined your own present, it's your fault. You guys need to get someone in your life the Olive and June nail kit, whether it's you, because I'm sure they're going to have holiday sales, or your sister or your bestie, or all of you. They're really fun, and they're fun to do with your kids too. And they do definitely stay on longer than regular nail polish. They last about a week and a half for me, but that's me being in the kitchen all the time. They say they can last up to 2 weeks or so, which is a long time. And the nail polishes are not crazy expensive. I think they're $8 or $10 each. So you can build up a whole collection for pretty inexpensive. So I really love them. Shameless self-promotion for this one, because if you've got a sister or a bestie who has a family and struggles with meal planning, you've got to get them a copy of the Healthy Mama Meal Planner, right? The Healthy Mama Meal Planner 2022 edition just launched. This is the 4th edition of the Healthy Mama Meal Planner. It is better than ever. It has beautiful, bright colored tabs. It has templates for planning all of your meals and your grocery lists, as well as a list of what you have on hand this week, so you can actually use what you have, save money, save time. It has lists for your family favorite recipes you want to try, figuring out your grocery budget, pantry inventories every quarter, pantry and freezer inventories every quarter, spaces to map out your staples grocery list so you can figure out what you buy every week and so you can save time at the grocery store. It is your meal planning journal that is going to stick by you the whole year and help you to simplify and streamline your meal planning. It is my favorite thing that I create every single year. This is the 4th edition, if I didn't already mention that. It's great, and I know I created it, so I'm going to think it's great. But it's a great gift, too. It's now available in print edition and print at home, so a PDF edition. And for a very, very limited time, you will also get my brand new SOS Family Meal Plan ebook, which won't be available until January, okay? You're going to get it, though, the first week of December, okay? After the sale is over, you are going to get it the first week of December. It's got over 35 family-friendly weeknight recipes divided into main ingredients. You can figure out what to make if you're like, I just have a packet of chicken breast or a pound of ground beef or a can of chickpeas or some dried lentils or just some pasta. What do I make for dinner? This is your SOS, Save Our Ship, I Need a Solution for Dinner Tonight meal plan ebook, okay? So this is meant to be used in conjunction with the Healthy Mama Meal Planner or by itself. And you're like, I forgot to take out my meal planner and it's Wednesday and I don't know what to eat for dinner and all I've got is a pound of ground beef. You've got like 5 or 6 different options. I'm very, very excited about this. That is, again, it's going to be available for sale in January. So get excited if you're like, I don't want the meal planner, but I want that. But you can get it a month early if you order the Healthy Mama Meal Planner. Okay? So I want you guys to get your hands on that and get like 5 copies for you and your friends. Let's see. In talking about books, I think books are a great gift for your sister or your bestie, especially books that you read and you love and you pass them on because you're like, this one was so fun. So I have a few books that I think are really fun for your sister or bestie, a couple of rom-coms and then one more like personal development, but one I literally read twice this year because I loved it so much. So the first 2 are rom-coms, so romantic comedies, but really well written. So the first one is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. So Emily Henry wrote, oh my goodness, what is it called? She wrote another book. I will link that too. Last year, Beach Read. It is probably my favorite romantic comedy book I've ever read. I've read it twice. I will probably read it again. I loved the story. I loved the character development. I thought it was one of the most well-written romantic comedies I've ever read. It was super witty. It had a great storyline. It was just so cute. I loved it. I will love it reading it again. And so this one is her second novel, and it's about 2 friends and their lives going on vacation with each other for years. And as you can imagine, if it's a rom-com, there might be some romance that happens. It's their whole journey. It's really cute. It's great. It's a good gift. My other favorite one that I read this year is also by an author. I've read her first 2 books, Abby Jimenez. She is also the owner of Nadia Cakes I think it's in Minnesota. It's a like cupcake company and a cake and cupcake company. And so she also includes that within her book every now and then, like a couple mentions, which is always fun. But this book is called Life's Too Short. It's part of the Friend Zone series. If you read The Friend Zone or her second book, which I really should have looked up all of these before I'm just spouting this off to all of you, but I told you we're kind of off the cuff today. But the Happy Ever After playlist, that was her second one. The first 2 are great if you want to buy somebody like the trilogy. They all kind of, they all have overlapping characters within them, but they're all really great. Again, really witty, great characters. And this one is about like an adventure/travel influencer who believes she won't live past the age of 30. She thinks she might have a chronic health condition because her sister had it and her mom also didn't live past 30. And she meets her neighbor and they kind of hit it off and have a friendship, and that friendship sort of develops. But as you can imagine, she's like in her mid to late 20s and she thinks she isn't going to live past 30. And so she doesn't want to be in a relationship, and he's kind of a homebody and she's this like big time YouTuber. And it's a really cool journey to kind of read about the 2 of them
And I really enjoyed it, and I will probably read that one again as well. So those two are really great kind of romantic comedies to give as a gift. And the third one is the book Buy Yourself the, I'm not going to say the word, but it is the word, Buy Yourself the Effing Lilies by Tara Schuster. Okay, this book had me laughing, it had me crying, it had me going, yes, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? It got me into a practice of journaling. I thought it was great, you guys. It is like a personal development book, but it's like a personal development book for the millennial. It's really great, and I thought it was awesome. I've recommended it to a lot of people, and it would also make a really good book. Maybe with something that's like flower related too, just because that would be a fun kind of pairing to put together. Or with a bottle of wine. Okay, if you can't think of anything to get for your sister or your bestie or your friend, get them a really great bottle of wine. The one that I was turned on to recently by Brie McCoy is the Freak Show Cabernet Sauvignon. It's a California Cab Sauv. It's about $20. It's pretty inexpensive. So get them something else alongside it too. I love, oh my gosh. My friend Erin has this great company called Here's to Happy, and she has these super cute wine bottle holders. They're like canvas wine bottle holders, so they make a really great gift, and then they can use it to go pick up wine from the wine store as well. So I think a bottle of wine is a great gift, especially it's a great hostess gift too. Of course, if you drink wine. And last but not least, for your sister or your bestie or your sistie. Okay, that's a new word. There is a local company here in Newport, Rhode Island called Shore Soap, but they ship I think they ship worldwide, but I know they at least ship nationwide because my best friend down in Florida came to visit me about 5 years ago, and I turned her on to this charcoal and clay mask by Shore Soap, and she still buys it and gets it shipped down to Florida. And I tell her that I will buy it for her and ship it down, but she does it herself. She loves it, and it's so great. So it is a charcoal mask, and I think it's good for like any skin type, but I have blemish-prone skin. And it definitely works to like reduce my blemishes and make them a little bit less prominent, and definitely helps to clear them up. But it's definitely good for any skin type. I'm not a skincare expert, so maybe I shouldn't be making claims like that. But I think it does say it's for any skin type. So it is really great, and I love it. And so I think like a really beautiful skincare item that they might not buy for themselves, or that might be a new company that you can introduce them to, is a great gift for your sister or your bestie. And I think that's a great segue into gifts for your mom. So mom or grandma. I think the best gifts for moms or grandmas are things that they wouldn't buy themselves. So again, my mom listens to every one of my podcast episodes. So if you're listening, I told you, okay, go listen to something else and then come back. Okay. So something that I was introduced to earlier this year is mix tiles. You might have seen advertisements for them. Maybe you've already thought of this for a family member, but I just think they're so cool. I think they were originally made for like Instagram photos because they're oftentimes in that, like they're in the square size. I think you can get them in different sizes too. But I know that my mom loves photos and she fills her house with photos, and just giving your parents a new set, or your mom a new set of family photos, especially just like the cute and candid ones that you might not normally frame in these cool square mix tiles. You can get a few of them. They oftentimes have deals where you get like 6 for a certain number, and you can just stick them to the wall, kind of like command hooks, and they're not supposed to peel off the paint or anything. You just stick them right onto the wall. So they're super easy. So there's no like nails and hammers and all of that jazz. And they're, like I said, I think you can get them in different sizes, but they're not super huge. So you can do a whole bunch of them together. Super great gift. So I think that that's a great gift idea if you're like, I don't know what else to gather. Everyone loves photos, and kids always change. So there's always an opportunity for a new photo in a new season. So those are great. Really great skincare is another thing I think is really great for moms, grandmas, something they wouldn't buy themselves. The brand that I've really fallen in love with this year is the brand Tula. There is one item that I think is good for like everyone, and I think everyone would love. And again, not a skincare expert, so please don't call me out and be like, you're not a skincare expert. However, I think this item's great. And if you think the person in your life or yourself would love this, then get it. The Rose Glow and Get It Cooling and Brightening Eye Balm. So good. So it's almost like a thick chapstick consistency, but it doesn't like pull your under eyes. It's super smooth. And you literally just rub it under your eyes, and it's like instant brightness, and it smells like roses It's so great. And it's a cute little, it's a great stocking stuffer type of thing, or packaged up with a couple other little things. It's really great. So I highly recommend that. Another fun sort of like indulgent type thing that your mom might not get for herself is like a really nice candle. And another thing that's nice to like package up with something else if you're like, I've got a little something, but I need to add something to it. The same company I mentioned, the Shore Soap Company, has really great natural soy candles with really great scents. I actually use their scents as my perfume as well. They have roller bottle scents, which would also be a great gift. But unfortunately, if you're buying it online, it's kind of hard. You can't smell them. I think candles are one of those things that's a little bit easier to take a gamble on than a perfume. But I know that my mom and myself are both really sensitive to smells, and I don't like smells that are not natural just because I get headaches from them and my allergies are sometimes triggered, and these do not do that. They are so great and they smell really great and they last a good amount of time. So I think that that's a great option too. Books, again, are a great option. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, well, I always get them a book. If you always get them a book, get them something else. But I think there are so many books out there. There are always new books coming out. The one that I thought about for my mom, and the one that I was like, okay, this is a good one. I think moms will enjoy, either moms, of our age demographic. I'm just assuming we're all close to the same age, or even in the next generation, is a book I'm actually reading right now. So I can't give you a full review on it, but Amazon will give you like 20,000 of them. If you haven't read this and you haven't heard of this, I think read it. It's great so far. And it's, had rave reviews, and it's a good gift too. The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. If you've never read Taylor Jenkins Reid, she's a great author, and this so far is nothing less than anything I've read from her. It's probably my favorite so far. It's great. So it's about an old Hollywood film icon, and so she's telling her she lives this crazy life, and she's ready to tell her story to this random magazine reporter who's kind of like a nobody, but this is going to be her big break. And as the story goes on, they realize that their lives intersect. Okay? I will leave you with that. Jewelry is always a great option for moms or grandmas. One of my favorite jewelry companies is Lisa Leonard. She makes beautiful jewelry. She does it in everything from silver to white gold and gold, so you can kind of choose your price point. She has a really beautiful birthstone necklace that has it's like a little strip of silver or gold, and then you can put little birthstones on it. So it's great to, do for like multiple grandchildren. It's very subtle and beautiful, and it's not loud. So it kind of goes with anything. So it's a great like everyday necklace. But she has a lot of really beautiful necklaces. She has necklaces beautiful jewelry in general. She has necklaces and rings and bracelets where you can add initials or names or birthstones. And so they're really easy to personalize, but they're really beautiful and handmade. And she's a small business, and I love supporting small businesses as well. And speaking of small businesses, last year I gave both my mom and my sister really beautiful pearl earrings from the Maris Pearl Company. So I've known the owner, Stephanie, for over a decade. We actually met when we were both food bloggers back in Toronto like 10 or 11 years ago. We worked together for a period of time. She's super sweet. She lives in Hawaii now, and these are like naturally cultivated pearls, and they have beautiful jewelry, but their earrings are just so classic. I got my mom and my sister the sailor earrings, and they're really, really affordable for pearls, and please go and support her. She's got a great thing going. The last thing I thought about for moms who love tea is the Smeg electric kettle. You guys, especially if you like to buy your mom tea, get her some tea with this Smeg electric kettle. It is so pretty. It's so pretty. Just go click the link and look it up and see how pretty it is. It's a little bit pricey, but it is an electric kettle. So it's easier to, instead of putting that kettle on the stove and bring her water for tea or hot chocolate or for her Chemex or something like that way. But it's so cute. It's so worth it. So get somebody a Smeg electric kettle, even if it's yourself, or buy me one. I'll send you my ad. No, I'm just kidding. They're so pretty. Okay, friends. If I sound different or there is no rain and wind happening behind me, it's because I have made it to the time where I have to go pick my daughter up from school. So we're going to pick this up probably in a couple days. Talk to you soon.
Okay, friends, it is a couple days later. I've got my Rishi hot chocolate next to me. We'll see if I actually get to sip it. Who knew a gift guide would take so long to share with all of you? But I have been really loving sharing some of my favorite things to give with all of you. So let's go ahead and dive back in. We've already talked about gifts for your husband, for your sister or your bestie, for your mom. Let's talk about gifts for the foodie or the aspiring chef. And this might just be you as well. It might be, I don't know what to ask for Christmas. My husband and my kids or my mom or everyone keeps asking me for a list and I don't really need anything. I'm not sure what I want. You're going to want these things. Okay. So if you've got a friend who is a foodie or an aspiring chef, chances are they have some sort of an apron. And I don't know about you, but I could always use more aprons because I'm always getting them dirty and always needing to wash them. And oftentimes I will throw it over the back of a chair and forget to wash it and then go to cook and grab it and go, oh, this is dirty. I don't want to use this. So a really great apron is a great gift because oftentimes we don't buy ourselves nice aprons either. I think sometimes we will just get ourselves the cheapest one we can get, but a nice apron that fits well and is really comfortable when you're cooking is a game changer. So my all-time favorite aprons are the Hedley and Bennett aprons. They are super cute, but they are also pricey. I really love aprons from Anthropologie as well. They have some really cute patterns, and so that's a great option as well, especially if the foodie or aspiring chef in your life is someone who likes something cute, and they'll run you $35, $45, so a little less pricey than the Hedley and Bennett aprons. And then the other place I love to look for aprons is Etsy. There are some really great small companies who have awesome aprons on Etsy. I have been really loving these smock style aprons lately, and I've actually asked for one myself for Christmas this year. So that's a really great option. Cookbooks, of course, are a great option for foodies or aspiring chefs. Definitely ask the foodie in your life what cookbooks they have, because if they're anything like me, if a cookbook looks good, I'll just pick it up. But a couple of my favorite books for the aspiring chef, somebody who might be just getting into cooking, are Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat. You might have seen the Netflix special. Samin Nosrat, I'm not sure if I'm saying her name correctly. I had to look at my book on the shelf, but she is absolutely fantastic. And the book is a great primer on how to cook. The recipes in it are simple and delicious. Another one of my favorites is the Flavor Bible. Mine is literally just completely battered. It's got stains all over it. I use it for creating recipes all the time. I've been using it since culinary school. It is literally the Bible of flavor. So you can go through it and you can go, okay, I have this ingredient. What goes with this ingredient? What spices go with this? Okay, maybe I want to cook Moroccan cuisine. What are the different ingredients that appear most often in Moroccan cuisine? You can look for seasonal ingredients. Oh my gosh, it is the best. If the person that you are buying for is someone who loves food, who wants to learn more about cooking, Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat, and or the Flavor Bible are my go-tos. There are lots and lots of great cookbooks out there, but those are the two more skills-based books that I highly recommend. Of course, knives are always a great gift for the aspiring chef in your life. I think most of you know, if you've listened to any of my Healthy Mama Hacks episodes on cooking, Global knives are my absolute favorite. They don't sponsor me, but I've been using them for over a decade. They're super comfortable, especially if you have small hands like I do. They're really light, and I love their vegetable knife. It's a really unique shape and size. Mine's 5.5 or 6 inches, so smaller than a chef's knife, but really easy to handle, great for chopping vegetables, and super sharp. What I love about Global knives is they're really easy to clean because the tang is attached to the blade. I mean, I guess the tang is always attached to the blade, but there's no there's no handle, and then the blade is separate. They're really easy to clean, and they are also really easy to sharpen, and they stay sharp really well. And they're also not crazy expensive. I think the vegetable knife is $70-ish. It might even be less than that. So it's not crazy expensive, and I'll link that. You can get it on Amazon. So that is my favorite. And if you can't find the vegetable knife, a utility knife does kind of the same thing. A chef's knife is always important, and if the person that you're buying for doesn't have a great chef's knife, that would be my first pick. But a vegetable knife might be something that they don't have that can be really, really helpful.
So something that you guys all know I love. It's no secret. I love a good charcuterie board. It is my favorite class to teach around the holidays. I love talking charcuterie. Yes, charcuterie is technically the meat, but a good cheese board is a fantastic gift because how many of us wouldn't love a new awesome cheese board? And a round board is actually the best shape of a board because it's easy to kind of go around the outside of the board and get what you need. It's just easier. It's more accessible. So a great round charcuterie board is a really great gift. It's a great hostess gift too. They can be a little bit more expensive and run you around $100. But there are some great ones on Amazon for like $40. So depending on your price range, who you're buying for, there's a bunch of different options. And wouldn't it be so cute to give somebody a charcuterie board with like a little piece of cheese in the middle? Super cute gift. Speaking of charcuterie and hostess gifts, one of my favorite hostess gifts is giving someone a unique something that they could put with their charcuterie, with their cheese, on their like appetizer spread. So one of my favorites that I discovered this summer is the spicy shark hot honey. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so delicious. It is delicious honey with just the right amount of heat. It's not too hot. It's not too sweet. It is the perfect balance, and it is really great with a nice sharp cheddar. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So spicy shark hot honey is a great option. I also really love these Stonewall kitchen jams. Those are a really good gift as well, especially a hostess gift. So I really love that as something to give to the foodie in your life who might not have tried it before, but then you can give them something that they might buy again and again. Something else that I love to give people are artisan salts. We have a great local salt company here called Newport Sea Salt Co., and it is actually harvested from our local area because I am in Rhode Island, which is the ocean state. So we've got ocean almost all around us, and they've got some really great artisan salt. And that's just a fun gift to give someone, something that they might not have tried before. They have like little salts, so you can try out some of their different varieties. They have like a spicy salt, so a hot salt. They have a rosemary and thyme salt. They have a like bread dipping blend. So they have a bunch of different options, and those make really, really fantastic gifts. And they do ship. So if you don't happen to be in the area and you want to check them out, they are awesome. But there's lots of small artisan salt companies as well that would make really great gifts. And the last two things, there's a couple other things I want to mention that are on kind of the higher end side. So these might be for someone in your life who's like a closer family member who you might spend a little bit more money on, but they are totally worth the price and something that they might not buy themselves. So the first thing is a pizza stone. A pizza stone is a game changer. I will admit that I have used many pizza stones, but do not have one myself because we simply do not have space for it in our tiny temporary apartment right now, but it is on my future wish list. And when I tell you, you will not have a crust like a crust with a pizza stone unless you have a pizza oven. You will not get a crust like a crust with a pizza stone without a pizza oven. So it's so good and it's so worth it. And if you have a pizza lover in your life, get them a pizza stone. Just trust me on this one, okay? Pizza stone is a fabulous gift. And the last thing I want to mention is the Le Creuset Everyday Pan or the Threshold Everyday Pan from Target. These two pans are almost identical. The Le Creuset is obviously a little bit more high-end, but Threshold by Target just came out with an everyday pan. It's an enameled cast iron pan. It's like 3.5 quarts, I want to say. So it is just big enough for like a family of 4, for a meal for a family of 4. You can do so much in this. You could do a stew in this. You can do a one-pot dinner in this. You can cook a whole chicken in it. You can do, I mean, obviously you wouldn't be able to fit the cover on top if you're cooking a whole chicken in it, but it goes into the oven like a cast iron, which makes such a big difference when you want to start something, like especially if you're doing a braise on the stove and then put it in the oven. Oh my goodness, you guys. It is so, so great. It comes with a lid so you can cover it. It's fantastic. I use mine all of the time. And so you can get a more expensive one for about $350 or a less expensive one. It won't last you as long, but it's a really great starter everyday pan for about, I think it's like $50 or $60 at Target. So that is a fantastic gift for the foodie in your life. I could go on and on about gifts for foodies, but let's talk about cocktails. Because if you've been to any one of my cooking classes, you know that I love a good craft cocktail. And I always like to remind my cooking class guests that I am not a mixologist. That's my dad. My dad's a bartender, but I learned everything I know, most of what I know from him, and a couple really awesome books, one of which I am about to mention. But I think it's really fun. If you have cocktail lovers in your life who like to experiment with craft cocktails, getting them some things, especially, I love this because these are gifts that you can, for the most part, like use over and over again or actually enjoy. I love consumables versus something that's just going to end up like trash. So obviously, a really great spirit would be something that you can get them depending on what they enjoy. If they love vodka, if they love gin. I love bourbon. So my favorite that I've been enjoying recently, and the recommendation for this one came from the book I'm going to mention in a little bit, is the Elijah Craig 12-year bourbon. It is about $40, which is not crazy expensive because it's a really, really delicious bourbon. It's great in cocktails. It's also very smooth to sip on its own. And it's just a little bit more on the higher end than just like kind of like your average Evan Williams bourbon, which is also good in a cocktail. But especially if you have somebody who likes to sip it or who likes a cocktail that's a little bit more strong, likes an old fashioned, the Elijah Craig is really delicious. And I really enjoy that one. I also enjoy Bullet bourbon and Bullet rye. Rittenhouse rye is actually my current favorite rye if we're talking whiskeys. But actually, speaking of that, something else that I love as a hostess gift or for the cocktail lover is a really great bourbon cherry. So these can be kind of hard to find unless you know what you're looking for. Some of my favorite ones are the Luxardo, the Woodford Reserve has bourbon cherries, and the Tillin Farms, which are the ones that I find most often, they have bourbon cherries as well. They are all absolutely delicious and really good in a cocktail, especially in a Manhattan. So, speaking of Manhattans, something else I love to give cocktail lovers is a really nice vermouth. A really good vermouth makes a big difference in cocktails versus a cheap vermouth. It's really easy to grab a like $8 or $10 bottle of martini vermouth, but that versus the Carpano Antica makes a really big difference in your cocktail. And it's a little bit more pricey than, obviously the $8 or $10 one. It's like about $25. So it's a really good gift. It could be a good hostess gift, and definitely if you have a cocktail lover in your life, especially if they love making a good Manhattan, a nice vermouth and some really great cherries, that's a great gift. So some of these suggestions I have gotten from one of my newest favorite coffee table books, and it's called Death & Co. Now, this book has been around for several years now, but Death & Co. is a cocktail bar, a very famous cocktail bar in New York. They actually have another book on the way, I believe, in 2022. But the creators created this bar specifically for craft cocktails. They're like modern craft cocktails. So they take the classics and make them more modern. And it's a really great primer on how to make really delicious, well-balanced cocktails. And again, if you've ever been to any of my cooking classes, you know I'm all about balancing flavors in food, but you do the same thing with cocktails. And it gives you a really good primer on what to buy, what not to buy, what's worth it, what isn't, and how to make some really delicious craft cocktails. So if you have a cocktail lover in your life, the Death & Co. book is so great, and it's a really nice looking coffee table book. It's just a nice black book with beautiful gold lettering on it, and it reads like a novel. Like, it has stories from different different people who come to the bar, their bar regulars, and stories behind the different cocktails, how they came up with the different cocktails. And of course, there's like hundreds of cocktail recipes in there as well. And I've enjoyed every single one of them I've tried. So it's a great book, definitely a great gift. I also love giving out cocktail or gifting cocktail equipment. So I don't know if equipment's the right word, but the tools that you would use. Target has a really beautiful gold cocktail set. It's about $30, and all of the different things, everything from the strainer to the stir to the jigger, they're all on this beautiful stand. So you can just put it on your bar. It looks really nice. You can grab it and you can use it. If the person you are buying for loves cocktails but might not have a nice set of equipment for it, this is a really great gift. I actually got this for one of my best friends a couple years ago. And glasses are also a really great gift because everyone loves a beautiful glass. There are these gold coupe glasses at Crate and Barrel that I have been lusting after for months now. Do me a favor and go and buy one of your friends a set of these glasses for me, okay? They are beautiful. And so a really nice set of glasses, and you can get them at Crate and Barrel. You could find glasses at Anthropologie, or you can find them at Target. There are beautiful glasses everywhere. And so a couple beautiful glasses and a nice bottle of something they love is a great gift for the cocktail lover. And last but not least, I guess this isn't cocktails, this is wine, but I was introduced to an electric wine opener a couple weeks ago. Game changer. What an awesome gift. If the person in your life loves wine, you need to get them an electric wine opener. Okay, I have 2 more categories I want to dig into. The first one wasn't one I had originally planned on sharing, but because so many of you have enjoyed hearing about my running journey, I wanted to share a couple of gifts for the runners on your list. If you have any friends or family members who are runners, and when I mean runners, I mean like they love to go for a run, even if it's cold, even if it's, I don't always love to go for a run in the cold, but they are committed runners. They love gear. I promise you, they love gear. So some of the things that I've gotten in the last year that have made a really big difference in my running journey are the Flip Belt Elite. My husband and kiddos gave me this one for my birthday this year, and it holds your phone, it holds keys, it holds any of the snacks you might bring with you on a long run. It's about $40, so it's a really decent price for a gift. And oh my gosh, it's been such a game changer because it kind of fits flat against your belly or wherever you're going to put it. It's kind of like around your waist, wherever it fits well. I kind of put mine over my belly, over the waistband of my running pants. And I find that it just holds everything so well. And I never lose anything. I've lost my keys running before, and I've lost goo before. I put little water bottles in there when I'm going on long runs as well. You can get water bottles to go along with it, which I highly recommend adding to it because that was a game changer. The Flip Belt is a great gift. If you have a family member who's a runner and you want to get them something a little bit more special, a running watch is a great option. And I've had a lot of people on Instagram when I share my runs ask me about my watch. My watch is the Garmin Forerunner 245. It was an anniversary gift from my husband. It's kind of like a mid-level running watch. It's not the most expensive one. It's definitely not the least expensive one. It's definitely more pricey than a gift that you would give to just, a friend, unless you're like a really, really awesome friend. Totally get them a running watch. If you want to spend like $250 on your friend, go for it. Absolutely. Be a great friend. Not that you have to buy people expensive things to be a good friend. I did not mean to imply that. It's definitely the thought that counts. But the Garmin Forerunner is really great, and it connects to the app really easily. It also connects to the Strava app. I really love it for being able to track my mileage. It's got really great GPS capabilities, which is important for me, so I don't get lost. So that one's really great. A set of wireless earbuds. I know I mentioned this when I was talking about our husbands, but there is a big difference between AirPods and sport earbuds that are wireless, that you don't get tangled in when you're running. The ones that I have are the J Sport ones, and they were about $70, so definitely not as pricey as the earbuds, but they have a feature where you can actually turn off outside sounds so they're noise blocking, or turn on outside sounds, which is really important when you are running like near traffic and you need to be able to hear what's going on around you. When I'm running on the bike path, when it's busy, I want to be able to hear if there are bikes around me or other runners around me. So that's really helpful. And they also have really good sound quality. So I really enjoy those, and those are a great gift for a runner for sure. Speaking of cookbooks, we were talking about cookbooks a little while ago. One of the cookbooks that I got introduced to recently was by Elise Kopecky and Shalane Flanagan. If you are in the running world, you probably know Shalane Flanagan. She is a legend. She is a former professional runner for Nike. She won the 2017 New York Marathon. She was the first woman to win the New York Marathon, or the first American woman to win the New York Marathon in like 30 years or something like that. She's incredible. And her best friend, Elise, who is a chef, they have a cookbook that's not true. They have several cookbooks for runners, but they have a brand new cookbook that just came out that is breakfast centric. And breakfast, I know for runners, can be really difficult figuring out what you're going to eat before, what you're going to eat after. They have these superhero muffins that are like a cult favorite in the running world. I've heard so many people on the running podcast I listen to talk about these. So I am going to try them out myself, and I'll let you guys know how I enjoy them. But their cookbook is called Rise and Run, and it would be a great gift for a runner. And if anyone in my life wants to get me a copy, oh wait, I told people who are in my life to not listen to this anymore. Okay, well, I would also like a copy of it because it looks great. I have their first cookbook, which is called, I've got to go look for it, Run Fast, Eat Slow. And they have a second cookbook that is Run Fast, Cook Fast, Eat Slow, which I don't have. But their new cookbook is breakfast-centric. So any of their cookbooks would be great for runners as well. And the last thing is something that I don't own myself, but I found online like a few days ago. And it's called the Runner Box. And it looks so cool. Anyone you know who loves getting mail, I mean, who doesn't love getting mail, but who loves subscription boxes, this is a subscription box for runners. How cool is that? So that's another great option for the runner in your life. So I hope these give you a couple of suggestions for the runner in your life. A couple other things that would be great that I thought of when I was creating this list are some like ear warmers are really great for running in the wintertime. So are really great gloves. Lululemon has a really fantastic pair of running gloves that are a little bit more pricey than you might want to buy yourself, but they're really great, especially if the person is running in a colder climate. So I love running-centric gifts because I am a runner and it's always great to get new gear. So hopefully you can surprise the runner in your life with some awesome new gear. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about the kiddos. When I talked about foodies and aspiring chefs, I talked about aprons. And if you want to bring your kiddos into the kitchen, buy them an apron. It makes it so much more fun. There are these adorable kids aprons. I bought one for my daughter my youngest daughter, who's 4, when she was going to help me out with an Instagram cooking live. And she cannot stop telling people about her, what does she call it? She doesn't call it an apron, but she has this cute little name for it. And whenever we're going to cook, she's like, I've got to get my apron. And it was really inexpensive. I want to say it was like $10. And it's just a way to encourage them to get into the kitchen with you, which, is something that I always encourage when you have more selective eaters, especially bringing them into the kitchen with you is definitely an encouragement to try the food because they've been a part of making the food. So that's always a fun gift for kids. And along the same line, kids knives. Oh my goodness. So there's a couple different kids knives that I love, and I will link both of them in the gift guide. But the first one is a plastic knife that has a serrated edge for kiddos who are a little bit younger. So my 4-year-old still uses that. It's sharp enough to cut something like an apple, but it's not sharp enough to cut their fingers. And then as they get a little bit older, my 8-year-old is now comfortable using a small stainless steel knife. So there are different knives for different ages, but always a great gift, especially if your kiddos are interested in helping you out in the kitchen. The apron, I think, is something, whether they're interested or not, that kids tend to love, but a knife, if they are interested in helping you out in the kitchen, really helps to empower them and feel more confident as they're learning how to cook. So I love that as a gift. And hey, you could also have them join you in a Healthy Mama Chris cooking class too. I would love to have you and your kiddo. We've definitely had mom and kiddo pairs over there. So I would love to have you guys. I always have the link to my cooking classes in the show notes as well. Something I love to give kiddos is a board game. And this is a great family gift as well. We love playing games as a family. I mentioned earlier when we were talking about husbands that my husband and I love to play games together, but we love to play games as a family. The one that we have been loving most recently is called Catch the Fox. You guys, it is so cute. You have these little chickens and each person has a chicken coop. And I think it's up to 4 players. Each person has a chicken coop, and there are a bunch of these little chickens, and you have to put the chicken in the fox's pants and in his pockets, and then you kind of tap the top of his head, and eventually, once there are enough rounds, the fox's pants fall down. I know that it might seem a little inappropriate, but it's actually hilarious. So his pants fall down and the chickens go everywhere, and you have to collect the chickens with one hand. It is so cute, and the kids and I and my husband just laugh hysterically every single time. There's never a time we've played the game that we have not laughed hysterically, and I love games like that. So that's been our most recent favorite. My older daughter and I love to play Exploding Kittens. It's not so much for the younger crowd, but we love that game, and that one is a really good one, especially if your kiddos are probably like 6 and up. Another family game that we love, and probably also kind of a 6 and up game. I'm not sure if you guys, or if you're around my age bracket, you probably know this game, but I loved playing the Oregon Trail when I was a kid on the computer, when I was at school to start, I think. And then we got it at our home computer, and it was like one of the first ever computer games I had. And it was so much fun. But now they have it as a board game, and it looks like the original computer game, but it's in board game version, and you have to get from one point to the other point across the country. And so you go on the Oregon Trail, and you pick these cards, and you either kind of continue on the trail, or sometimes you end up with an injury and you have to use some of your cattle or your food or your guns or whatever it is. And you can trade them at different trading posts, and you get more cards. And I'm not describing this as well as I should be. It is a ton of fun. You will probably die of dysentery, but you'll have a lot of fun doing it. So that's one of my favorites. So any sort of family board game, I think, is a great, especially if it's one that your family enjoys. Giving it to another family is always fun. One that we played with our friends recently was called Ticket to Ride, and we played it as adults, but older kids would definitely have fun playing that as well. So we liked that one too. An experience is something that I think, just like for your husband, I think an experience is like the best thing that you can give for your kiddos. So some of the experiences that our kids have been gifted, or we've gifted friends before, are rock climbing. So indoor rock climbing. We've done movie theater tickets. We've done aquarium tickets. We have done zoo passes. What else have we done? Oh, not the bouncy houses, but like one of the indoor trampoline places is really fun. So something where they can actually get outside and go do something instead of something where they're just sitting at home, especially if it's something that is warm and indoors, but they can still get out and do something in the wintertime. Children's museum passes are a really great option as well. We love doing these for our kiddos as well as our friends' kiddos or their family members as well. This year, actually, for my daughter's birthday, she actually asked to go to New York to take the train up there and to see a Broadway play instead of getting gifts, which I thought was really, really awesome. So experiences are a great thing to give to kids. And I'm really trying to generalize, because I know that kids could be anywhere from, age 6 months to 16, 18. And so it's a wide category of kids and their interests. But I think any of these are good for pretty much any kind of age group of kiddos. Books are something that is a great gift too. I mean, that's not anything new or revolutionary. But some of our favorite family books are the Dragons Love Tacos series. They're so funny. And they're one of those books where it's like just as funny for the adults as it is for the kiddos. By the same authors, or at least one of the same authors. Those Darn Squirrels is also a fun series that we enjoy. The Bruce series we always giggle with. He's a bear and he ends up adopting a bunch of geese. That one's really cute. So books are a great gift. And the last thing, kind of along the lines of an experience, I love subscription boxes for kids. Last year we did a cooking box subscription for my oldest daughter. And this year for her birthday, my mom got my youngest daughter a Kiwi crate. Actually, I think hers is the koala crate because she's younger, but Kiwi crate has a bunch of different levels for different kiddos, and they're like craft boxes that are also kind of educational. They're like STEAM boxes, and the kids really love them. They learn something, and then they also have a fun activity to do, especially if it's like a snowy day. Or my 4-year-old's at home with me a couple days during the week when she's not in school, and we love having activities to do together. So it's something you can do together, but it's also fun and exciting for them to get every single month in the mail as well. So those are some of my favorite things for kiddos. Obviously, I'm not speaking to like the really, really young ones or the really, really old ones, but I did want to include that category because I know a few of you reached out and were like, well, what about kids? And I'm like, I don't feel like I'm the expert on kids' gifts, but those are some of my favorites. And overall, this is a list of some of my favorite gifts to give. I hope you guys enjoyed this year's gift guide. This was way longer than I imagined I would be chatting about gifts, but I hope it was helpful. Click the link in the show notes for the blog post with all of the things that I mentioned, all of the links. And I would love to hear if you guys try out any of these things that I shared with you today and you enjoyed them, or you gifted it to someone and they enjoyed it. I would love if you join me over in the Healthy Balanced Mamas Facebook community, where we love to chat about these episodes, where we do book club, where we connect. It's my favorite place to be able to connect with all of you, and I'm always consistently trying to grow it and get you guys to join me over on Fridays for my Friday coffee chats, because I love connecting with you all, because most of the time it's just me sitting in front of this mic chatting with you, and I love to be able to put faces to all of the people who are listening. So I'd love for you to join me over there. You can also find me over on Instagram at Healthy Mama Chris. Happy holidays. I hope you all have a beautiful holiday season, and I'll catch you in the next episode.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Healthy Balanced Mama podcast. If you loved it, would you take a screenshot and share it with a friend over on Instagram and tag me in it? It helps me so much to know what you love and are taking away from each episode. If you really loved it, would you hop over to iTunes and give me a star rating and review? Every rating and review helps this podcast be seen and heard by more women who need to hear the message of balance and wellness without deprivation. It's the best free gift you could give me. And as a reminder, the information and opinions on this podcast are meant for education and inspiration only and are not to be taken as medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Please consult with a trusted practitioner before making any changes. Have a beautiful day, friend, and I'll see you in the next episode.